This is the horoscope for Scorpios for September 2023. This is suitable for both Scorpio rising as well as Scorpio sun signs. Even though you are used to the intensity, September does start off nicely. If you didn't notice, August was quite intense. It ended quite intensely for many because the sun was opposing Saturn. Perhaps you didn't notice it, but it was there. And it's finished with at the beginning of September. So thankfully, the month should feel a little bit more lighter. In all of August, you also had Venus retrograde in your career house. So you may have noticed a little bit of a slower pace when it comes to your career, not as much moving, and that you were also quite reflective on what it is that you want in your career and what you value in your career. On September 4th, Venus will be going direct. So all of that reflecting that you've been doing, now it might be a good chance to start taking steps in that direction. The next day, on September 5th, we have Jupiter going retrograde in your relationship house. So you might find that for the month of September, you're reflecting on what you require in a relationship, how you show up in a relationship, and also reflecting on if there are any missed opportunities there in the way you show up, in the way that you present yourself and exist as a partner. In the middle of the month, around September 10th to September 16th, Mercury is opposing Saturn. And as a matter of fact, up until September 16th, Mercury is also retrograde. So I know that as a Scorpio, you're not afraid to be honest and say what's on your mind. Just be really careful during this time that you're not snapping at others and saying really harsh things that you're going to regret later. I would hold off to really communicate with others how you feel up until the second half of the month, because then it's going to be a little bit more nicely flavored and not as negative and as hurtful to others. On September 15th, there's also a new moon in your 11th house. So you are going to be exploring some new horizons, starting something new when it comes to your vision, where you're heading. This could potentially have to do with your career, especially because Venus just wrapped up its retrograde in your career house. But you might also be starting new friendships or be getting into a new networking group that can really help you get along in the right area in life. Overall, in September, though, there is a lot of action going on internally in your mind. And this is because the planet of Mars is in your 12th house. So you might find that your mind is quite active. There are a lot of thoughts, a lot of beliefs that you're sifting and going through. Try not to get too lost in it. Make sure that you keep oriented outwards as well. I think that new moon should help. Focusing on the community around you could really help with that. And finally, you're wrapping off the month with a full moon in your house of routines. So you might find towards the end of the month that you're letting go of a part of your routine that doesn't serve you anymore. It could be your morning workout. Maybe it needs to become an evening workout. It could be the fact that you've had a protein shake for breakfast for the last 20 years, but all of a sudden you realize, actually, I need to have something more filling or something more sweet. So overall, it's a pretty nice month for you, Scorpio, I would say. Don't get too discouraged with all of the action inside your head, but instead really focus on getting the right community around you and reflecting on what opportunities you can take to become an even better partner.